do when you come to this computer is you're going to want to load G-Scribe. That's what the program is called. G-Scribe. Double click that and it'll launch this beautiful composer. On the left side of your screen, this is the sequence that you're creating. So as you're making your graphics, you're also making your sequence at the same time. Just be aware of that. All right. The black and white checkered things on the background should always be black or checkered black and white, so that we can key it out on the switcher. And I'll show you how to make it full screen, so it's not. But for the most part, you're going to want to make sure that your checkered thing is checkered. Does that make sense? Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to create. Well, one of the first things you're going to do is you're going to create a lower third, right? You're only going to create one lower third and then change the font for the next two. So it's not like you have to create a new lower third every time. You're going to use the same lower third, just change the text on it, if that makes sense. And that's where a lot of people screw up at. Cool? Okay. So to create a lower third, in the top right corner you have your tools palette. It's kind of a big deal. On the third row, last icon over is a rectangle button. You click that, and then you just draw a rectangle. Like paint. You know, when you're in school drawing rectangles? That's awesome. That's exactly what you can do. But you have to be in rectangle mode to create that. So, third row, last one over is a rectangle. Click that and draw your rectangle. We'll make this one our main title bar. Right? This is where our font's going to go on. Right? I don't want that. So, to move my rectangle and change the dimensions of it, go back to my tools palette. The arrow tool is the first tool that lets you move it and change the size of it. So I'm going to move it to the lower part of the screen, and your TAs will put it on screen so you can see how it looks on TV. And you can shrink it or make it longer, whatever you want, right? This green line is your title safe line. That's at 0 to 80% of your screen. So every time you create a graphic, you're going to make sure it's inside, all the text in the lower third is inside this green part. If it goes outside, we can still see it, right? But to be totally safe, to make sure we see everything, keep it inside. When you're doing lower thirds and stuff, keep it inside the green box. Okay? To change a color, you want to make sure you're in the select mode, arrow mode. Click on your shape. On the bottom, there's a bunch of tabs. There's a tab called Color and Texture. Everyone with me so far? Color, texture. On the left side, you have three options. You can change the face, you can change the edge color, or you can change the shadow color. For now, I'm only going to change the face, and that's this big white part. All right? So to change the face, all you do is click on face, and then change it to whatever color I ask for. I think it's crimson. I don't remember. But anyways, that's how you change it. Okay? Let's say I want you to change the color of the shadow to white. On the left side, I'm going to click Shadow, SHDW, and then change it to my whatever color I want. My white shadow. Okay? Questions about that? That's how you create an ugly rectangle. Very skilled. Okay? Then we're going to create a subtitle bar. So it's just another rectangle right under it, except it's a little skinnier, right? And that has the title of the person. So, same way that I create the main rectangle is the same way that I create the subtitle bar. I go to my tools palette, third row down, last icon is a rectangle one, click on it, and then draw a skinnier rectangle. Like so. And if you look on screen, that's what it looks like. Poo, that's what it looks like. Okay? Let's say I want to change this to black. How do I do that?
Select thing.
Go back to my select tool, make sure it's selected, right? On the bottom, what tab do I want to be in?
Color and texture.
Color and texture. Then what do I want to change?
Face.
Face. And then we make it, what color did I say? Black. Cool. Look at that. It's like NWO wrestling. No. So let's say you made your two rectangles and you want to get rid of the shadow for the top one. Always make sure you're in your tool mode. Click on the rectangle. This one's weird. Where it says view, wait, size and attributes, I lied. Size and attributes, where it says shadow, we'll just take this all the way down to 0. and your shadow goes away. So again, to add or remove a shadow from a shape, not text, but from a shape, you're going to want to go to Size and Attributes, and then change the shadow. The only time you have to go into here is if I ask you for no shadow. I'm not going to ask you to like soften the shadow or anything like that. Just to remove or add a shadow. Questions? Okay. So now I want to add text to it, because you can't have a lower third without text. What mode do you think I have to be in? Text mode. Who said that? Freaking genius.
What?
First row, second icon over is an A in like brackets. That's the mode you want to be in. Click on that. Hey, you have a blinking cursor here, and type your name. So let's type Glenn Johnson. Johansson. So if I want to move this, what mode do you think I have to be in? Select mode. Click on it. And now I can move it wherever I need to. Look at that. Like a glove. Alright? So, when you hover over your rectangle, you'll get two different icons. One icon is a little white 4-arrow thing. That means you can move it wherever you want. If you keep going over a little, now I have a white square with arrows in it. That's how you can, okay, come on. That's how you can change the size of it if you want to. Just be careful you're on the right arrow mode. So if you want to move it, make sure it's on the, exactly. Make sure it's on the 4 arrows. If you want to change the size of it, make sure it's on the white one with the 4 arrows. Does that make sense? So, but the most important one is to move it. So the 4 arrows. Move it there. All right? Let's say I want you to change the size of the font. What do you think I'll do?
Tell us to change the size of the font.
Tell you to change the size of the font, and then you know, oh, brilliant. I have to go to the Size and Attributes part. Size and Attributes to change the font size. Here where it says height and width, you just change it to make sure it fits. So you know that font size, wow, it's a big lower third. That font size is too big, right? So you just want to fit the font in your rectangle, like a glove. Like that. Cool? So now I have to fill out the second part, right? So what mode do you think I have to be in? Text mode. Second button over, right? Make sure you're in text mode. Click at the end of Glenn Johnson's name and you're just going to hit enter. It creates another field for you. And then you type in professor. Well, former professor. Okay, how do I move it? Select tool. Make sure I have 4 arrows, not the white square, right? And then I move it. Holy crap, that's huge. How do I shrink it? Size and Attributes. Go to my height and width. And bring it down. Oh, look, it changes all of it. That's cool. How do I make this one bigger? Good. Size and Attributes. Why is it doing that?
I think it's because it's on the same.
Oh, man. Like I'm drunk. So you highlight it, and then you can change it, and it'll be all good. Oh, I got that on video, right? Send it to help@tech at wcu.edu. All right? Questions about that? Boom. Lower third number 1. That took, what, like 5 minutes? All right. So I want to use the same lower third. Yeah.
So the whole test is 3 lower thirds.
3 full screens.
Oh, so we have to put like a video on there or something?
No, you just have to make that ugly full screen. Like fill up the background with the color. Put the title and 3 bullets.
And I got 3 of those?
Exactly. And then change 4 weather graphics.
Oh.
Oh, that part.